Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and hopefully no old people, because we really don't want another lawsuit. Prepare yourselves for an evening you'll never forget, even after years of therapy. You're about to have your minds and kidneys blown by Acts of God! That is what I used to say at the start of every show. I'm Blabbermouth, and I was the ringmaster of this high-class act. Back then, of course, we were super famous and loved by audiences all over the world. But one day, disaster struck and our beloved act had to end. But don't feel sad, because coming soon to a large patch of field near you, the Big Top will be back in business. Now, how would you like to meet some of my performers?
I was a master of illusion with a passion for card tricks. Probably because my name is TRIXIE. Well, not really. Obviously, that's just my clown name. My real name is Card. Anyway, most card tricks are boring and played out in this day and age. That's why I decided to shake things up a bit. Now, sir, I want you to not pick a card. Instead, just think of a card.
Okay.
Is this your card?
No.
Admittedly, 51 times out of 52, that one doesn't work. But when it does, it really freaks them out.
My name is Ashes, and I've always treated performance art with only the highest level of dignity and respect. As a reader of poetry, there was no place in my act for cheap laughs or silly slapstick gags. I wrote this poem myself. It's called The Smoking Crater Where My Soul Once Stood. You see, the boxing glove represented the harsh realities that caused my hopes and dreams to crumble to dust. And my soul was represented by my jaw, because it was broken, you see. Inferno doesn't speak. Some of you more discerning viewers may have noticed that already. Some say it's because his vocal cords have been permanently destroyed by his fire breathing. Personally, I think he's just being difficult.
We had all kinds of weird and freaky attractions, such as Gillette, the beautiful bearded lady. Sadly, she won't be returning for our big comeback. She's in the past now. But fortunately, the rest of my team stayed faithful.
The bearded lady is an old played-out trick anyway. I'm currently trying to persuade Blabbermouth to hire this new act I've been in touch with. He's called the Bearded Man.
I suppose I'd better explain what caused our act to fall apart. You see, during one of Inferno's fire-breathing performances, a massive fire broke out.
Spontaneous human combustion? Can you believe it? The audience certainly couldn't. As the circus tent was burning to a crisp, they all thought it was part of the act.
For some reason, they also thought it was part of the act when I started screaming, "For God's sake, someone call the emergency services. This is not a joke. Someone is dying and we are all in serious danger."
And after that night, our act was ruined. The tent was destroyed and so was our reputation. So there was nothing left to do but to go our separate ways.
Blabbermouth doesn't like to talk about how his life went downhill after the tent burned down, and he would rather people didn't know about it. But I don't mind telling you. You see, Blabs and Jill had some serious marital issues, which soon ended in divorce. From what Gillette told me, he just wouldn't take her feelings seriously. He always acted as though their relationship was a great big pointless joke to him, like some kind of badly animated cartoon.
With no wife and no career, he started a long battle with his addiction to candy floss.
TRIXIE, Inferno, and Ashes They were all there for me when nobody else was. And I'll always be grateful for that. When all seemed lost, they put me back on my feet and inspired me to bring the circus back into town. And this time, we've hired some new acts. Meet Stilton, our new promoter.
Ugh! Come on, come all, buy tickets to the Acts of God. Everybody loves clowns, right? Well, no, of course not. But our clowns are different. Just come take a look and you won't feel at all like they want to kill you. Granted, there have been a few deaths on the premises in the past, but, well, you know, YOLO. Ah! That was just one of my many death-defying stunts you can expect to see as a part of Acts of God. Roll up, roll up!
Oh, don't forget about Colonel Custard. He's a fully qualified custard pie thrower with over 60 years' experience.
June 6, 1944. I remember the waft of the cowpats on the battlefield on that fateful day. General Mincemeat thought he had us thwarted with his newfangled dumpling tents. Yes, much steak and kidney was shed that day, but we did not surrender. We fired away with our faithful custard pie cannons, and by God, we won that war. And we were presented with our golden rolling pins of courage. Never forget what your ancestors did for your country, dear boy. Never forget.
Right. And there's one more act we're adding to the entourage. A very impressive one too. She's a contortionist.
In my country, I am best contortionist act my people have ever seen. I have practiced bodily distortion for longer than my entire life. Literally, while I was in the womb, I twisted my mother's internal organs in such a way that I was born 2 months early. God rest her soul. This is my favorite contortionist trick. It is called the alphabet.
Well, eventually, opening night finally rolled around, with the new lineup ready to entertain adoring crowds. Hey, I'm really nervous, guys. Here, Inferno, you got a light? Oh, I thought you were gonna do your thing.
Oh, there, BLABBERMOUTH. Give us a cuddle. Do you know how many times I've fallen over these dang blessed fangs? I've hardly got any teeth left. Just remember what you learned from last time. If you mess up, they just think it's part of the show. Just roll with it.
BLABBERMOUTH, come quick!
Gillette's here. Oh no. I can't host the show if she's watching and judging us. What's she doing here anyway?
You invited her?
And she told me she wanted nothing to do with Acts of God ever again. I can't mess up in front of her. She's a bitter reminder of the days when my act fell apart. And let's face it, we're not funny anymore, and she's just here to watch us fail.
BLABBERMOUTH T-Clown! That sounds like serious talk. And that's just not who you are. Are you going to stand there talking like you care about life's problems? Or are you going to do what you were put on this earth to do? You are a clown, BLABBERMOUTH. Pull yourself apart and get out there and make them laugh.
Yes, Mom! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and... Anyone else feeling lightheaded? Well, looks like everything turned out okay. That one little accident had everyone in stitches. In my case, literally. Our old acts were all on top form.
Ladies and gentlemen, to prevent any life-risking fires breaking out, it is my duty to read out the health and safety booklet. Now please pay very close attention as I read all 50 of the rules. In the event of a fire, the exits can be found here, here, and here. Please ensure your own safety before securing the safety of your loved ones.
And our new acts went down a treat.
Although there was this one tiny little snag.
Come on. You didn't think it was real, did you? As if I would let another fire break out in my circus after so thoroughly going through the health and safety regulations. Inferno and I planned that whole thing, you know. I knew Blabs and Jill would end up back together as soon as she turned up in the big top. They were made for each other. Not that I care about them or anything. Anyway, we're back in business now, and ready to tour all over the world again. Good night, folks, and all the clowns from Acts of God say they hope you enjoy the show. Apart from me, I don't care what you think.